Okay, let's begin lesson 1-4, which is evaluate square and cube roots. We've already talked a little bit about square roots, and we're going to continue in this lesson. For this lesson, a lot is going to be done on the calculator, making sure you know how to enter a square root and a cube root on the calculator, and also to solve a few word problems with that involve cube and square roots. So to start this lesson off, I want to look at just first of all evaluating just a simple, straightforward square root and cube root. So for an example, and I'm going to start with square roots because we've looked at those. If you are given, and I'm just going to say evaluate, which means solve. If you are given a square root, like square root of 25, or square root of 81. These are perfect squares. So when you put them in the calculator, they're going to come out an even whole number. To put these in the calculator, we're going to enter square root of 25. And square root of 25 is 5. And then to do 81, do the same thing. We're going to enter square root of 81. And we get 9. Now, a cube root looks very similar to a square root, except it has a little tiny 3 up at the top left of the radical sign. So if I wanted to do cube root of 27, or if I wanted to do the cube root of 1. Now, a cube root acts similar to a square root. A square root is a number you can multiply by itself, or square, and get the number under the radical sign. A cube root is a number you can multiply by itself 3 times and get the number under the radical sign. So when I do cube root of 27, it's what number can I multiply by itself 3 times, or cube, and get 27. And if I put that in the calculator, I get 3. And likewise, if I put in cube root of 1 in the calculator, I get 1. And that's the case because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And over here on this cube root of 27, 3 is the answer because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. One thing you do need to know, that it is possible to have a cube root of a negative number. Let's say, for example, the cube root of negative 16. Let's not do that. Let's do one that comes out even. The cube root of negative 8. What I want to know is what number multiplied by itself 3 times is negative 8. And that answer is negative 2. Because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 does equal negative 8. So while it's not possible to have a negative sign under a square root sign, it is possible to have a negative sign under a cube root sign. So just keep that in mind, that is possible on cube roots. One other thing I do want to mention, most of the time when we evaluate a square root, such as the square root of 25, the square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. But also, the square root of 25 could also equal 5 or negative 5 because negative 5 times negative 5 is also a positive 25. Most of the time when they ask you for a square root, they're asking for the positive answer. But if you're ever asked what are the 2 square roots of 25, then they're just wanting the positive and the negative number because they are technically both the answer to a square root. And a lot of times instead of writing it like this, they will write it like plus or minus 5. And that just means positive or negative 5. So they can write it either way. So that can be the case on a square root. On a cube root, now you can only have one answer, and that would be it. It's either positive or negative, not both. So keep that in mind. Okay, for our second example, I want us to look at a word problem and when to know if we're going to do the cube root or the square root. So for this word problem, and a lot of times in the word problem, it will let you know that. It will give you something that tells you that. Okay, so for this example, a cube-shaped art sculpture has a volume of 64 cubic feet. What is the length of each edge? Okay, well, there are some hints in here. It does mention the word cube-shaped, which gives me a big hint that it is going to be a cube that I'm dealing with, a cube root. Volume is another one. We know when we find volume, it's length times width times height for volume of a cube. So that's multiplying something, 3 different things. So that gives me a few hints. If I want to know what one edge is, and again, with volume, you have length, width, and height, and they're all the same because it's a cube. It means every edge is the same length. So if I want to know what one edge is, and they're all 3 the same length, then what number times itself 3 times would give you 64. That's the same thing as the cube root of 64. So what I'm going to do is the cube root of 64. If I put that in my calculator, what number times itself 3 times is 64? And that would come out 4. And we're talking about the length of an edge, so it's 4 feet. Now likewise, if they give you a word problem, sometimes they do involve, instead of cubes, sometimes they involve squares. So for an example, Sean cuts one sheet No, let's back up. Let's not do that one. Let's do a different one. Let's do Emily wants to buy a tablecloth for a square card table. She knows the table top has an area of 9 square feet. What are the minimum dimensions she needs? Okay, well, this one we have a few keywords too. We have a square card table, so we know it's not a cube, it's a square. And we know the tabletop of this is 9 square feet. So anytime you're doing area, you're multiplying length times width, that's 2 things. And obviously with it being a square, those 2 things have to be the same length. So we're wanting to know what number times itself gives us 9, and that's the same thing as the square root of 9. And I told you before the square root of 9 could be 3 or -3, but in this case we're talking about the dimensions of a tablecloth, which cannot be negative. So for this particular example, it would have to be a +3. And if we're wanting dimensions of a tablecloth, they would be 3 feet by 3 feet. And that's the answer to that example. Okay, so that is the examples for lesson 1-4, and I'll let you start working on your practice problems.